Well, hello and welcome back to another exciting adventure in the world of how to make it easy for people to give you money. My name is Michael Mollenhauer. I'm the president of One-to-One Network. We're an advertising and marketing company working out of the lovely St. George, Utah, and also Laguna Beach, California. Today, I have got a very special guest today. What makes him special is more than one thing, not the least of which is that he has an incredibly hard name to pronounce. So we're going to introduce Andre Archimbaud. Did I do that correctly?
Nailed it.
Oh my gosh. So, Andre is a successful digital strategist and media pro with decades, I say decades of proven experience working with Fortune 500 and national and international companies. But before we get to him, he's going to say it quietly while I thank our show supporters today. You still with me, Andre?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. So we're going to thank Aaron Stringer, who is the owner of Red Cliff Legal in St. George, Utah. Now, Aaron specializes in creating estate plans and trusts for individuals, family, and businesses. You can contact him at 435-817-9187. I'll do that one more time, 435-817-9187. And online, you can find him at redclifflegal.com. Also, we want to thank Brian Powers, who's the owner of Powers Family Construction in San Clemente, California. Now, Brian's the guy you need to call when you're looking to remodel your home, your bathroom, or your kitchen. You can find him on powersfamilyconstruction.com. That's powersfamilyconstruction.com. Andre, we're back.
Brilliant.
That was fabulous. Thank you for hanging with me through all that. So,
Not at all. Not at all.
So I need you to tell me a little bit more about you as a person, and then we want to get into what you're doing now at Clearly Now Media and what it is, what you do, and how you help businesses make it easy for people to give them money. So take it away, Andre.
Sure. Thank you, Michael. The short version of the long story is that I was born in Jersey, raised in Texas, college in Boston. I've been in New York for 29 years next month. I moved to Jersey City from Manhattan almost 3 years ago. And around that time, I looked at the idea of launching Clearly Now Media. I had worked for corporate media, for lack of a better expression, and a handful of startups. My career is kind of cut in two, but very uneven pieces. I spent the first, give or take, 10 years of my career in network news, worked for NPR, CBS News, etc., and then pivoted out of production over into media sales, marketing, and advertising. When I rejoined CBS and joined the WCBS here in New York. And the last 22 years, I've been primarily in corporate media, CBS, Yahoo, division of the USA Today network, and in the last and worked for a startup for about 2 years after that, and then about a little over a year ago, I launched Clearly Now Media, hung my own shingle, as they say, and my primary focus is. 80% of my business is running paid digital media. I've certainly run my share of traditional media, everything from radio, TV, billboards, etc. And I do believe it all works. The one thing that I loved about making the transition into digital is you get so much more data that goes with your digital media buy that you don't necessarily get from traditional media.
Well, you're exactly right. I remember in the olden days, before we had this new thing called the interweb. I've heard of that. Yeah, that seems to be
right.
It'll catch on. But, when I was doing just regular radio and TV spots and newspaper and print ads and things like that, invariably the client would ask me, so how do I know this is working? And we never really had any data on how many people read your newspaper ad. And they would say
Sure.
things like, well, nobody came in and said they saw my TV commercial. Well, they're not going to.
Right.
But with the internet, I mean, the digital marketing, everything's right there. It's a smart way to go.
So it's funny you would bring that up. One of the roles that I had, I was on the client side for uh, technically 6 months, but really they were my primary client for the last 2 years that I was at CBS. Was a mortgage company that was operating here on the East Coast, literally up and down. And when I joined them formally, the verification process around the ads
Mm-hmm.
was such that in each market on Sunday night, they would get a spreadsheet indicating what stations I was buying, and I was only buying radio, a little bit of out of home, without fail. The office in Tampa and the office down on Wall Street would send in a form on Friday or Saturday after the ads had all run for the week, and they would throw in a station that wasn't on the buy, was not on the buy.
Oh,
And usually one ad a week, or one office a week would say someone reported seeing us on TV, and I said we don't even have a commercial. So there's no way, Susie Q in Morristown, New Jersey, saw our ad on TV. So digital shores that up in a great many ways. It sort of reminds me of that old adage from J.P. Wanamaker. I know half of my advertising is working. I just don't know which half.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I have to share a similar experience I had
Please.
with one of my strategic partners. We're doing a campaign for I think it was a credit union. And so we'd say, so, Dave, how's the things going? He says, a lot of people are coming in and they're telling me that they are seeing my billboard ads and they really like them. And we go, Dave, that is absolutely incredible because you don't have any billboard ads.
Yeah.
So people, they really never know where their business is coming from. And that is all alleviated, which is a big word for me to say.
Not as long as Archimbaud, though.
That's true. Archimbaud. I need to say that 3 more times. But it's people never really know where they're getting a return on their investment. This guy's thinking he's getting return on billboard ads, and we were not running billboard ads. Digital alleviates all of that. It's all gone. All of those issues are gone. You know exactly what's going on, what's working, what's not.
Yeah. No, it's true. The level of transparency is phenomenal. The ability to tie this dollar to this campaign to this outcome is really what excited me about moving into digital 20 years ago.
Yeah. So I understand that one of the many services that you offer is you're doing media buying for your clients as well. Tell me about
Correct.
that. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, so my clientele ranges literally, and I should say it this way: my historical clientele ranges, as you said in the show open, from global brands like AMD, the microchip company, to I work with a global pet supply product company, but then I'm also working with a B2B company that outfits commercial kitchens. They're based in the tri-state area here, but they sell nationally because of the unique nature of their work and that the unique nature of their work and the fact that the way they do what they do makes them different enough for a commercial kitchen in Dallas or go back to Tampa or wherever to use them instead of someone locally.
Yeah.
But then conversely, historically speaking, I've also worked with colleges, universities of all shapes and sizes, Columbia University, Pace University, Coach USA, the bus company. I worked with them for 9.5 years. Currently, I'm also working with a CPA firm in Westchester County, New York, just north of New York City. So,
What kind
you
of
know,
media buys are you doing? Are they primarily digital or traditional with, radio, TV, print,
yeah,
or all over the map?
currently purely digital,
Okay.
with the CPA firm purely Google ads, so paid
Okay.
search.
Yeah.
But I've run and am running Meta campaigns, Reddit campaigns,
Okay.
that kind of thing. TikTok.
Which of those do you find are the most successful for your clients?
Um, 8 out of 10 times, I'm going to lead with Google for
Okay.
the fact that paid search is the bottom of that buying funnel.
Yeah.
Um, Someone who's executing a search for your product, service, solution, whatever it may be, they're revealing themselves to you as someone who is in market at that moment. And having said that, the buying funnel is no longer this, sort of pronged, two-dimensional
Yeah.
beast. It's really a three-dimensional beast in the sense that, depending on the you know the the cycle, the sales cycle for whatever the service is, whatever the product is. Case in point, um, using the CPA as a great
Yeah.
case in point. The Their business solutions, it may take a year and a half for someone to convert,
Right.
whereas the height of tax season, uh, those clicks and calls are going to come in same day. Same thing with higher education. Could be, anywhere from a 6 to 24 month window to make a decision
Yeah.
on pulling the trigger. And,
Yeah. No, I understand. I think it's important that the folks listening understand, especially if you're new, starting a new business, an entrepreneur. All of these solutions are good, but I need to reiterate a false misconception that a lot of folks have, especially new business owners. They think, okay, so I'm going to do this Google ad campaign and I'm going to make $1 zillion in the next month. And you guys need to understand that's not true for a couple of different reasons. Number one, everything's been so competitive right now, and
yeah,
Google has changed their algorithm as it pertains. Well, they do all the time for search, but you need to allow 12 to 18 months before you see any substantial ROI on any ad campaign. I don't care if it's Google pay-per-click or Facebook ads or whatever. I mean, you didn't you don't start your business and you're immediately profitable the first month. So if you start a new ad campaign,
sure.
it ain't going to happen. It's competitive now, and you need to make sure that you remain competitive, and you need to work with a professional that knows what the heck they're doing. That does, and this will lead right into the next topic I'm going to talk to you about. It has to do with strategy, but please understand this is going to take some time, and if you can't go the distance, then you get a job at Waffle House or something.
Yeah, it's a great illustration for the fact that one of my earliest clients in working on for Clearly Now was a real estate firm
Yeah,
uh, based in Europe, but building here stateside. They had a property in Newark and a property in Philly, and they were expecting the lights to turn on inside that first 90 days
yeah,
that we were working together. And I got them traffic. I got them calls and form submits and emails. But the expectations were skewed, to your point precisely, Michael.
yeah. A lot of folks are that way. I had a client call me, and he said, "Well, so we were going to start this campaign," and I go, "So, what are your goals?" And he goes, "Well, I need to make $100,000 in sales in the next 30 days. And I was like, okay, wait a minute. That's probably not going to happen because
Right.
you're selling a product that's $29.95.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's important that you are realistic in all of this. Make sure that you create a strategy and a plan and have realistic goals, and make sure you get some good stats along the way.
Oh, sure.
Just don't. I see so many people, they just throw spaghetti at the wall, and after, if they don't get what they think are good results after 2-3 months, it's like, I'm going to pull the plug on the whole thing. Really? No.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I do for my clients, and I'm sure you do the same thing, Andre, is that I research the competition. So I had a real estate client. You and I both work in those worlds. So the guy goes, he goes, Michael, I have a $4,500 a month budget to do Google ads. And I go, well, that is really good. Let's see what your competition is doing. It was his competition. They're spending $15,000 and $20,000 a month. I go, well, here's what XYZ Realty is doing. And they've been doing this for like 3 years.
Right.
You're not going to beat them in the 6 month you've allocated for your budget.
Yeah.
So it's important that you guys understand that. I'm sure you've experienced this.
I mean, that level setting is critical. That's a lived experience too for me. So
that's exciting.
I get it.
Tell me about the strategy that you apply for your clients. What should people look for when they're creating a strategy for their business?
Yeah, I mean, my whole concept is, how wide of a net are we looking at? And when I say how wide of a net, I mean, I'll use the New York tri-state area as an example.
Yeah.
And no doubt applicable in other markets, similar, etc. But I happen to live literally less than a mile away from New York City, right? And I, if a client doesn't want to target, they want to target Manhattan, but they don't want to target anybody in Jersey, fine, we can do that. So having an idea as to that kind of targeting in the first place, that's one really important part of the strategy. If we're talking about widgets that can be sold at scale, and anyone can buy them, etc., and you've got a national target, those campaigns actually can thrive on lower budgets because you're oftentimes you're not necessarily competing with, for example, a law firm, a personal injury law firm, one of the most competitive landscapes out there, New York or otherwise.
Oh yeah.
And in some cases, those campaigns are anywhere from $100 to $500 a click.
Yeah.
Right. Let alone the amount of traffic you need to get the amount of conversions. So all of that sort of marketing math has to be taken into account as you're building out that strategy and allocating the budget.
That's true.
I will also say that the tools, to your point earlier about employing or hiring a professional, all of these tools, whether Google, Meta, Reddit, etc., they were all intended to be self-serve, but you still need a ton of institutional knowledge to be able to get in there and understand what's going on in the back end of your campaigns on all of those platforms.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's kind of along the philosophy that I like is just because you can doesn't mean that you should.
Right.
It's like, well, I can place my own Google ad. Well, you can, but let's take a look at what you've done here. Oh my goodness. Sure. You've misspelled this word. These are the wrong keywords. Oh, look, you've got the wrong target market. And have you checked your Google Analytics? What the heck are Google Analytics?
Right. Yeah.
Let me introduce you to my friend, Andre.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, all of those pieces are part of and then frankly, even looking at the efficacy of the site, landing pages within the site, depending on the type of campaign that that you're trying to run. All of those are factors that play into that strategy.
Oh, you are so correct. I've talked to clients who want to do either like an SEO or a Google ad campaign. And the first thing I do is I look at their website, which is going to be the target page for the ads. And I
Sure.
go, well, I can do this for you, but you're not gonna get any phone calls. So why not? Well, because in technical terms, your website sucks. Okay, so
Yeah.
which is one of the technical interweb
Yeah,
terms.
of course. Of course.
It's like
Yes.
I said, there's no. So where on your site does it say that what you want people to do? Well, I figured they would know. No, they don't. You have to tell them, click here, call this number, and this is going to
Yeah.
be the benefit. Yeah. So all
No,
these
it's true.
guys.
And then even on the back end of the campaigns, whether you're running lead gen campaigns, form submit campaigns, even how you process that data that's in there matters.
Yeah.
Currently navigating the waters with the client who they get a fair amount of form submits, they get a fair amount of emails and a handful of calls every month from their Google ads, but they don't do a great job of managing the inbound lead process, let alone the
Yeah.
follow-ups thereafter.
Yeah.
And, you're paying for this traffic, you may as well,
Right. 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 The other saying I like is do what you do best and delegate the rest.
Yeah.
If you're a realtor, just go list and sell houses. Let somebody else do all of this other stuff that you have no experience in doing. And quite frankly, there's no reason for you to do that. I used to, I've worked with some highly skilled and nationally known real estate training people.
Mm.
And one of the key factors that they would tell, like realtors, for example, why are you doing these things? You're losing money. Well, I don't have enough money to hire somebody to do these things. Really? Well, then you're just going to go out of business because your competition has a whole team of people doing this.
Sure.
You just go list and sell homes. Everything that you do yourself that is not connected to what you do best, you're losing money.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I also, I don't know that we were going to get there in the time necessarily, but I do think another fly in the ointment with self-serve, I'll do this on my own, that concept is what has happened with relation to AI the last 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
And no doubt, I want to be really, really clear, no doubt so much of the user interfaces around these platforms have improved considerably, and the optimization process is not entirely manual, but also not entirely AI. And so as a result of that, that's where the value in hiring somebody comes in, is that, I managing $2 million a year in ad spend on average for the last 15 years, 16 years. I have that institutional knowledge to be able to say, we're barking up the wrong tree with this.
Yeah. And it's important that if you're a business owner and you're hiring a professional, you need to listen to them because they know what they're doing. Otherwise, it's like going to the doctor and the doctor goes, well, I need you to take this medication and I need you to exercise more and I need you to not eat these things.
Right.
And you go, well, maybe I think I can do this on my own,
Right. Sure.
I've been eating, deep fried Twinkie fritters for 40 years.
Sure.
Just listen to what the pro tells you to do.
Right.
And if you don't, then don't complain when you're not achieving the results and the ROI that you hope we're going to get.
And to that end, in fact, it's an object lesson. He's still a friend, so I won't rat him out entirely. But a guy I know, just between us friends,
never
a guy I've known for 20 years worked with me intermittently from 2010 to about 2018, give or take, and he's at a point where he is actually smart enough and quick enough to manage a lot of the aspects of his own digital ads campaigns, genuinely. However, as recently as a month or two ago, he posted, I can't remember if it was LinkedIn, Facebook, or where, he said something that was very telling of the fact that as good as he is, he ain't great, right?
Yeah.
And so aside from the fact that that adage that's come around the last 15, 20 years, always be learning, no doubt there's a ton of value in that, no doubt. But if you don't know how to do audience targeting within Facebook, and Facebook is the primary driver of your business,
Right.
you're doing this half-hearted.
Yeah. I know how to do this stuff, but even I don't do my own Google ads and Facebook stuff. I have a team that does that
Sure.
for a couple of reasons. Number one, I don't want to spend my time doing that because it doesn't make me any money. My job as the business owner, I need to be selling stuff. That's how I make money. But number two, I can't be objective. I found when I try to do my own stuff, I don't have the proper perspective that one of the guys that work for me will do, because I try to overanalyze things, and I don't think I do a good job because it's my stuff and I can't be objective. My ego will get in the way. I think I wrote a brilliant ad, and it's like, well, why is it getting any results? Well, maybe everybody's too stupid to get it. Well, no, it's because I'm not being objective, and I need to let somebody else take that off my plate. Go do that for me. Take the whole ego thing out of the deal and just go make me some money. That's all I care about.
Yeah, totally, 1,000%. I am right there with you. So,
what do you find? We got maybe 3-4 minutes left here. When you're executing one of your campaigns, what are some of the things that you do for your clients that make sure that their campaign is executed in the most efficient way properly?
Sure, of course. It all comes down to tracking. Don't bother setting the campaigns live if your tracking isn't shored up, and that tracking can be executed a bunch of different ways. You mentioned Google Analytics earlier, Google Tag Manager as well. And to my earlier point, and one of my frustrations that I've been very vocal about is Google/Alphabet is one of the largest, most valuable companies in the history of humanity. And still those three platforms aren't in sync the way they could be.
Yeah.
And should be. And I understand the up and down of not everybody has simplistic needs or super complex needs, but the fact that there's, but having that tracking shored up, whether it's phone tracking, whether it's forms, emails, any sort of that is paramount to me, because without good data, you're not making good decisions.
Oh, that's exactly right. And to sustain you in that point, I think if you're a business owner and you hire a professional to do these things, make sure that you tell them exactly the information and data you want to see that you would like to receive on your reports. So I have a client, we're doing a Google ad campaign for them, and then today I get a message, well, I'm not seeing this data. Well, you didn't tell me you wanted that data.
Right. Sure.
So you need to be very clear up front. I want to see these things and these measurements in my reports because this goes along with my business model. So,
oh yeah, very much so.
Communicate effectively.
Yeah.
So, Andre, if someone would like to get a hold of you, if they have more information, how can someone contact you?
Very easily. My email address is AAA@clearlynowmedia.com. You can also reach me on my mobile computing device, 646-541-7831. And you can go to clearlynowmedia.com to learn more about whatever I might have left out today.
That's a really good one. I like that. Well, Andre, thanks. You've been a wonderful guest today. Don't forget to visit his website, clearlynowmedia.com, if you have questions. I'll see you guys again next time with another exciting episode of how to make it easy for people to give you money.